From a common yard plant that's highly toxic to poisonous beans, today we look at the 12 most dangerous plants in the world. Number 12. White snakeroot. Commonly known as white snakeroot or white sanicle, the plant is an herb native to North America and is most often found in the Midwestern United States. The white snakeroot has thin stems and a cluster of small white flowers, and it disperses its seed via the wind. The plant contains a chemical known as tremetol, which is a form of toxic alcohol. When enough is ingested, tremetol causes fatigue, digestive problems, and muscle tremors, which can be fatal if not treated. Because it is frequently found in pastures, cows have been known to accidentally consume the plant, which can lead to them producing toxic milk. When this milk is consumed, it causes an illness colloquially called the milk sickness. In the 1800s, milk sicknesses became a major epidemic because its herbal cause hadn't yet been identified, and even took the life of Abraham Lincoln's mother Nancy. Number 11. Rhododendron. The common rhododendron is an evergreen shrub that has purple flowers and is a popular bush in landscaping and within the gardening community. It's found all over Europe and parts of Central Asia. If the gyanotoxins that are found in the rhododendron's nectar and pollen are consumed, it can lower a person's heart rate to a dangerous level and cause circulatory shock. The primary way that humans fall victim to this poison is by eating the honey of a bee that fed off a rhododendron flower. The gyanotoxin is also known to cause diarrhea and can be a mild hallucinogen. In ancient history, it was written that the knowledge of the poisonous effects of rhododendron honey helped King Mithridates defeat the invading Roman battalion as they invaded the Black Sea region in 67 BC. According to the story, the king ordered that honeycombs full of honey be left along trails where Romans would be marching. The Romans gobbled them up, becoming inebriated and delirious, making them easy prey for the king's army. Rhododendrons are especially poisonous to horses, and they're on the invasive species list due to their ability to grow in almost any conditions and their speedy growth process and dense root systems that muscle out other plants. Number 10. Lily of the Valley. The lily of the valley is a white flowering herb from the asparagus family and is the national flower of Finland. The lily of the valley produces small red berries and has tiny flowers that are bell-shaped and clustered at the top of the plant. It is naturally found in the eastern United States and parts of Eurasia, but is also a frequent feature of gardens due to its pleasant aroma and growth traits that make it well-suited for filling empty patches. This delicate-looking plant contains upwards of 40 different cardiac glycosides, which, if consumed, will cause the sometimes fatal symptoms of migraines, disorientation, vomiting, stroke, and cardiac arrest. In small quantities, the glycosides can be used for medicinal purposes. But if the raw plant is eaten, a hospital trip is mandatory. Number 9. Manchineel tree. Considered one of the most dangerous trees in the world, if not the most dangerous, at first glance, the manchineel tree looks like a tree that produces succulent tropical fruit. But the manchineel, known culturally as the poison guava, is a tree you'll definitely want to steer clear of. Native to the Caribbean and southern Florida, the manchineel houses the toxins hippomane A and B throughout the entirety of its makeup. Merely touching a part of the tree or standing under it in the rain can cause severe skin reactions such as blisters. But the most dangerous mistake that unsuspecting people have made throughout history is eating its fruit. This fruit, which goes by the nickname beach apple, has tempted everyone from tourists to stranded sailors. If you eat a bit of the manchineel fruit, your mouth and throat will swell up, sores will form, and the toxins will wreak havoc on the digestive tract. If you touch your eyes after touching the sap, temporary blindness will occur. So it's best not to go traipsing through unknown trees if you live or on vacation in the Caribbean. The famed explorer Ponce de Leon is rumored to have met his untimely demise in 1521 at the hands of a native Floridian who dipped an arrow in manchineel sap. Number 8. White baneberry. Commonly known as white baneberry, it goes by the nickname doll's eyes due to its bulbous white berries that have dark purple dots on them that resemble pupils. White baneberry perennially bears pretty white flowers. They're found naturally in the wooded regions of North America where the soil is rich and slightly moist. All parts of the plant contain a hazardous toxin that has yet to be clearly identified, but the eyes of the plant are the most dangerous. If it's consumed, a person will become delirious, suffering severe gastrointestinal problems, and if enough are eaten, the respiratory and circulatory systems can shut down. Certain Native American tribes were known to use the white baneberry in making medicines. They would use the berry juice to cause a snakebite victim to vomit out the venom, or would use the root of the plant as a pain reliever. Some experts say that some Native American warriors would dip their arrows in the baneberry juice to increase lethality. Number 7. Angel's trumpet. The largest genus of shrubs, known as Brugmansia, are referred to as angel's trumpets due to their long, downward-hanging flowers that resemble the musical instrument. These plants are naturally found in the Andes and Amazon rainforest regions of South America, but have been introduced to other tropical forests throughout the world and are used in landscaping as ornamental plants. All species of angel's trumpet contain a potentially fatal amount of toxins known as tropane alkaloids. When ingested, these alkaloids can cause seizures, paralysis, fever, and psychologically damaging hallucinations. Some South American shamans have used Brugmansia in their rituals, commonly brewing tea from it. This tea can be extremely dangerous if not taken under the right supervision or prepared correctly, as there have been several incidents where people have drank it recreationally and either suffered untimely ends or were permanently scarred. One man drank the tea and in a fit of hallucination invoked madness, emasculated himself, and cut out his own tongue. Number 6. Gympie Gympie. Also known as the stinging bush or the moonlighter, the Gympie Gympie is a bush native to the rainforest of northeastern Australia. On first glance, it looks like a normal, big-leafed tree, but the true danger is hard to see with the naked eye. Covering the plant are millions of tiny hair-like stingers that, when touched even ever so lightly, will stick in the skin. The stingers cause such an excruciating pain that it's been likened to being electrocuted while having corrosive acid poured on oneself. The toxin the stingers release, known as moroidin, can cause the affected area to swell, and the pain may last years, even after the stingers are removed. Even if a person doesn't touch the plant, they may fall victim to the stingers that are shed into the air. And if inhaled, they can cause nasal bleeding, severe itching, and permanent damage to the sinuses. There are tales of people and animals that came into contact with the Gympie Gympie who were in so much pain that they resorted to taking their own lives. The only way to truly identify them in the wild is by their bright pinkish-purple fruit that is hard to spot. Number 5. Water hemlock. Water hemlock refers to any plant of the genus Cicuta. These extremely toxic plants are native to the higher elevations of the western United States and Europe. They can be spotted by their parasol-shaped groupings of white or green flowers and thrive in the wet, marshy areas of the aforementioned regions. Water hemlocks contain a poison known as cicutoxin, which attacks the central nervous system. When the plant is eaten, it will cause humans and animals to seize until their brains shut down. The poison is mainly found in the seed heads and tubers of the plant, but trace amounts are located throughout the rest of the plant. Though there are some incidents of people being poisoned, the main victims of the water hemlock's vicious nature are livestock who graze by rivers and damp meadows. Number 4. Monkshood. The Aconitum napellus goes by many names: monkshood, devil's helmet, and in popular culture, wolfsbane. The first two nicknames it gets from its hood-like appearance, and the second is due to once being used to fend off wolves. Though it thrives naturally in high-elevation mountain regions, it can be grown almost anywhere due to its resiliency. It can be found in blue, red, pink, and white, but is usually a deep purple. One touch of this beautiful specimen can send even the strongest person to the morgue. Monkshood has been found to contain over 15 different types of dangerous aconitin alkaloids. It is most hazardous when ingested with common symptoms of intense abdominal pain, numbness in the throat and mouth, and vomiting. Monkshood slowly shuts down the function of major organs, namely the lungs, and culminating with asphyxiation. If it is only touched, the digestional tract may not be affected, but the toxins will seep into the bloodstream and could end in cardiac arrest. If poisoned, a person can be saved if given activated charcoal and atropine, but only if it's caught immediately. Number 3. Oleander. One of the most dangerous plants in the world may be right in your own backyard. The Nerium oleander, or oleander, is a tree that is common in gardening and landscaping due to their adaptability and beauty, but the ingestion of a single leaf could end a small child's life. The oleander contains a number of cardiac glycosides that attack the central nervous system and digestive organs. Every part of the oleander contains these poisons, and as a centuries-old urban legend warns, accidentally burning the branches can create a formidably toxic smoke. There have been many variations of the cautionary tale, but the most common modern one is of a Boy Scout who accidentally used oleander branches to roast marshmallows and suffered the consequences. Number 2. Rosary pea. The rosary pea legume is a viney legume that has the destructive nature of a weed. It is native to Indonesia, but has spread to parts of the United States, South America, and the Caribbean. As its name suggests, due to the pea's striking red color, it is commonly used by Indonesian Catholics in making rosaries. The peas are normally harmless if touched, but if they're eaten or come into contact with an open wound, the poison that the seed contains, called abrin, will viciously attack the body. Abrin is considered one of the most potent poisons known to man, as under 3 micrograms can decimate a full-grown man. The poison attaches to the body's cells, dehydrating the body and shutting down organ functions. If the fumes from burning rosary peas are inhaled, it can cause symptoms that are similar to a violent form of pneumonia. Number 1. Castor bean plant. Ricinus communis, also known as the castor bean plant, is a plant so richly colorful that it looks like an illustration out of a Dr. Seuss book. But the castor bean is not to be trifled with. Commonly found in tropical regions throughout the world, the plant has long been harvested for castor oil, which you may recognize for its use as a laxative. Despite this, and its many other practical uses, it's the dangerous chemical ricin that the seeds produce that puts it at the top of this list. Ricin has long been extracted and used as a poison. A mere 2 milligrams of pure ricin, a few grains of salt worth, is enough to end a life. There is no known antidote. Even ingesting several of the beans in the raw could spell the end for someone. It's not advisable to grow these plants where there may be children playing, as the colorful appearance of the plant and the resemblance of its beans to those that are edible can ensnare unwitting victims like a Venus flytrap luring in bugs. When this milk is consumed, it causes an illness colloquially called the milk sickness. In the 1800s, milk sicknesses became a major epidemic because its herbal cause hadn't yet been identified, and even took the life of Abraham Lincoln's mother, Nancy. Number 11. Rhododendron. The common rhododendron is an evergreen shrub that has purple flowers and is a popular bush in landscaping and within the gardening community. It's found all poisonous effects of rhododendron honey helped King Mithridates defeat the invading Roman battalion as they invaded the Black Sea region in 67 BC. According to the story, the king ordered that honeycombs full of honey be left along trails where Romans would be marching. The Romans gobbled them up, becoming inebriated and delirious, making them easy prey for the king's army. Rhododendrons are especially poisonous to horses, and they're from a common yard plant that's highly toxic to poisonous beans. Today we look at the 12 most dangerous plants in the world. Number 12. White snakeroot. Commonly known as white snakeroot or white sanicle, the plant is an herb native to North America and is most often found in the Midwestern United States, over Europe and parts of Central Asia. If the gyanotoxins that are found in the rhododendron's nectar and pollen are consumed, it can lower a person's heart rate to a dangerous level and cause circulatory shock. The primary way that humans fall victim to this poison is by eating the honey of a bee that fed off a rhododendron flower. The gyanotoxin is also known to cause diarrhea and can be a mild hallucinogen. In ancient history, it was written that the knowledge of the white snakeroot has thin stems and a cluster of small white flowers, and it disperses its seed via the wind. The plant contains a chemical known as tremetol, which is a form of toxic alcohol. When enough is ingested, tremetol causes fatigue, digestive problems, and muscle tremors, which can be fatal if not treated. Because it is frequently found in pastures, cows have been known to accidentally consume the plant, which can lead to them producing toxic milk.